Indicted.
Hello, Your Honor. This is a case of Slade versus Simpson.
Thank you, Jerome.
You're welcome.
Good day, everyone. Miss Slade, you admit you had sex with your ex-boyfriend, Mr. Simpson, as well as with one of his good friends.
Yes.
Now you claim Mr. Simpson denies paternity of your son. Mr. Simpson, you argue that not only did Miss Slade admit to having sex with one of your friends, but there was also a third man who you believe could be the father of her son.
Yes, ma'am.
That man you claim is your brother. You, your brother, and your friend have been tested for paternity, and we will hear those results shortly. Now, Miss Slade, how did all this happen?
About the brother thing, I don't know. I will admit that I have had things going on with me, Eric, and Mr. Simpson, but I come here to see and find out what's going on and who is my baby father. I really believe it's Mr. Simpson's, but it could be a possibility that it is Eric's. But there's no way it can be his brother's child.
So, Mr. Simpson, what do you have to say to this?
You know, I have my doubts. Whole lot of stuff. We've had a whole lot of dealings, been together a long time. Once you get that seed of doubt, it bothers you, you know. You need closure. Once you need closure to something, you just want to have closure.
So take me back a little bit. You together?
We're together.
You in a relationship?
We're in a relationship. We're actually planning on getting married, and I come home. And her son, you know, he waits one day, he sits me down and he talks to me. You know, I help raise him. It's my little dude, you know, we kick it. So he goes on to tell me about, you know, one guy, this guy I know, he parks his truck behind the house to hide the car from him coming over, spending the night. Then he goes on to tell me again that another guy, she didn't have sex. The kids had heard her having sex noises, making sex noises.
And that's not true, Your Honor.
That is very true, Your Honor. Her son told me that he heard her having sex on Thanksgiving. The kids was in the house.
Your Honor.
That is very true. That is one of the reasons why we really separated. He wasn't lying. She basically had to
You
admit
felt like
to it.
this was a credible source because this was
Yeah,
her
definitely.
son.
When I come home, the streets is talking. Everyone's telling me.
He wanted him to leave. He did tell him that, but he wanted him to leave. On Thanksgiving, I was with my aunt and my niece.
You actually admitted, you actually
I
told me
did not have
that-
sex with anybody on Thanksgiving. I was with my aunt and my niece.
All right.
And my kids.
So whether it's Thanksgiving or not, were you intimate with another man around the time that your son was conceived?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Well, Your
And
Honor,
that
we
was
need to back it
Lee.
up because we're not even going to talk. But I can't even get to that yet because I just found out about that here recently. She just admitted to that. This was not even a couple of weeks ago. But
Take me to the particular circumstances surrounding the child in question, Sir Moses. Why do you have doubt?
So now let's go on and back it up because there's a whole lot of doubt that I have. You have people coming home, streets talking to me, telling me, yeah, she might have messed with one of your homeboys, she might have messed with another one, which was Eric, which the rumor was that she had messed with Eric and another one of my good friends. So we actually have a confrontation at my grandmother's house with her and the other guy. They sit there, I bring them together like I'm gonna do. If it's something I heard, I'm gonna bring you together. I wanna know the truth.
All right.
I asked them about it in my grandmother's kitchen, and both of them sitting there looking stupid. Did y'all have sex? Y'all done did something while I was gone?
He's throwing stuff on me, Your Honor, because that's all he did. He's a ladies' man. That's all he do. He stay in women's face 24/7. That's what he does. So
All right.
he's just putting
Am
everything
I
off on me.
lying about this?
Both
Am
of
I
you
lying
have a
about
lot of
that?
allegations
Am I
against
lying?
the other one. My question is, how many people were you intimate with during the time of conception?
I only slept with one person besides him in the whole 10
And
years.
your contention, Mr. Simpson, is that she slept with another person as well, a third person.
Your Honor, in my kitchen, in my grandmother's kitchen, did I not ask you about one of my best friends?
And you did.
y'all sat there and looked stupid in the face. He was laughing. And I asked you, y'all don't have nothing to say? You can't say nothing? You gonna tell me that's a lie? That did
Can
not
you
happen?
please talk to her, not me?
I'm talking
So
to you
did
and
that
her,
happen?
Your Honor.
It did happen. He did ask me this in the kitchen. But no, I never slept with that boy that he asked me about. Never. Never in my life.
All right, so you do admit to sleeping with Mr. Lee, and we'll get to him in a minute.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, Mr. Simpson, you're also concerned about your brother possibly being the father of this child.
My brother's my heart. That's my road dog. He's my backbone and everything. So he tells me they're chilling, they hanging real tight. She tells me I'm always a bean, I'm not doing nothing. Well, James, we're always together. And so, I'm like, okay, cool. That's, I can expect that. So now They tell me that the little trap, our little hangout spot, we should chill. People come over there, you know, we party, whatever. Now they're telling me that Lakeisha is actually sitting here watching and witnessing my brother get oral sex from another woman. So now I think to myself, okay, you telling this story, y'all telling me that, oh yeah, okay, old girl was doing this and doing that, but you're sitting here watching. So that's the first time I'm like, really? And then they go on to finish the story off that they stayed there, that they actually stayed at the trap. Who stays at the trap? It's not even nowhere to lay, no beds. It's just a little, you know, fun house, juke joint, liquor spot type.
So
deal.
hold on. So you were hearing that while you were away, Miss Slade was hanging out with your brother. They were involved in activities where you're saying to yourself, well, why in the world would she be a part of this unless she has something going on?
Watch
Is that
his
the
brother.
only reason you think she was with your brother?
At first, it was me thinking that, okay, bro, you know, my brother, he's a little loose, he's a little off, you know, and then she's my old lady. I'm, okay, y'all chill, y'all be cool. But then when y'all tell me about this story about how you're watching him get oral sex, and then y'all stay together, sleep on the couch, y'all all stay there, I mean, come on, of course it's gonna cause some doubt in my mind. So, I mean, it just bothers me. It bothers me, the whole situation. And you know, you're gonna want to believe that this is my son. Hey, I know that didn't happen. I want her to be faithful. But once the seed is planted and once it's in your head.
The seed of doubt, right. If you want more episodes of Paternity Court, make sure to subscribe and click on the notification bell. Your brother was unable to appear in court today, but we do have a video statement from him. Let's take a look at that.
My brother is always accusing me of sleeping with her, thinking that that's my son, but he's definitely not. Lakeisha slept with the whole town. She's nasty, and my brother needs to leave her alone and get his son and go on about his business.
Can't none of them do for his son, and that's a lie too, sir.
That was strong allegation.
Your Honor,
Right, and I can't believe that he
I have
just
some
said
more
this
evidence that I
because
wanna submit.
when I first got with him and he got locked up, he told me to watch his brother. Please do not let my brother out of your eyesight. So what do I do?
did.
By me in love with this man, I did not let his brother out of my eyesight, just like my kids did never get out of my eyesight.
So
So-
Ms. Slade, let me just ask you directly and give you this chance. Did you sleep with his brother?
No, ma'am.
Well, Your Honor, I have some evidence I would like to show the court. This is a picture of my son's birthmark. It's located on his back, right here at the bottom, right-hand corner. This is a picture of my brother's birthmark in the same exact
Jerome,
spot.
hand me those.
Same exact shape. They look identical. I mean, he does
So
look
you're
favor my
saying
brother.
that your brother and your son, the child in question, they both have very similar birthmarks on the same part of their body.
Same exact spot.
Miss Slade, I'm gonna come back to you one more time because we are in court. And if there's any place you need to just tell the truth and lay it on the line, this is the place. Are you sure?
I am
You
positive.
have never had any type of sexual
I am
relationship
positive.
with Mr. Simpson's
I
brother?
have never slept with Mr. Jones a day in my life. I have 5 kids. I wouldn't do that. Why would I? There's plenty of men out here.
Yeah.
I don't have to turn to no brothers. I don't have to do that. I'm not that low. And if I was, why is you still trying to come back to me? Why is we still in a relationship
you had your
5
third
years
child.
after Sir
You had your
Moses
third
is
child.
born?
Miss Slade, you do admit, however, to being intimate with Mr. Lee, the other father in
Yes,
question.
Your Honor.
And that was during the time of conception.
Yes, I did, and I might have been
I
wrong.
threw you
It's
off on my
it might be
friends.
my fault, but it's not
I
all my
really threw
fault
you off on my
because
friends.
this is what he do.
What
He
do you
goes and he
mean
sleeps
by-
around and he cheats.
Excuse
That's
me,
why I'm
what
here
do
now.
you mean by I threw you
I
off on
did.
my friends?
He took me
My
to
friends are always
Eric's
there.
house, Mr. Lee's house, and dropped me off the night I slept with Eric
Oh.
at a party.
Hold on.
He dropped me off there.
Jerome, I think we need to hear from Mr. Lee. Can you please escort Mr. Lee into the courtroom? Now, you know Ms. Slade has a son. She admits that she was intimate with you around the same time, the period of conception, and she also slept with Mr. Simpson.
Correct.
What do you have to add to this?
Well, first off, that night that we slept together, it was a party that I threw. You know, everybody was drinking, having a good time, and it wasn't just me who had slept with her. You know what I'm saying? I went to the room with her first, and I came back out. I went back about my business, but it was other guys in and out that same night. You know?
Wait a minute.
I know that's right.
No.
Are you suggesting here
He is lying.
on the witness stand
He is
that
lying.
she was in the bedroom with multiple men and you just
he's
were the
like-
first person?
Yes.
So when did you find out that you may be the child's father?
She just called me like 2 weeks ago. And I'm like, me, everybody else could be too. You know? I mean, to be honest with you, because I know what she was doing.
don't know what I do.
You know what I'm saying? I know what happened that night. You know what I'm saying? I know the possibility.
But
Thank
Your
you.
Honor,
And then-
I do. Mr. Lee's on the witness stand. I have some questions for him myself.
What are your issues?
Me and Mr. Lee grew up together. I call him my brother. We are like God brothers. How you couldn't come to me like a man, like my brother, and tell me
Now,
that
Mr.
you had
Lee,
sex
Because
with
he
her?
was playing your part.
Listen, it's a valid question, and I see the hurt in his eyes, quite frankly. I mean, he really wants to know how is it that this can happen and you never tell him.
Well, for one, it was only a one-shot deal. What we did was an accident, you know what I'm saying? It's not something that I'm gonna be trying to pursue in a relationship, and I'm not gonna sit up here,
My
sit up here
brother,
and shoot
though.
this man
He's
down.
supposed to tell you, you gotta come to me with
And
that.
they still lie
then-
because Eric
you
tried
know-
to sleep with me last night. So that's a lie too. Did I sleep with you last night? If I have hoeing tendencies, what was going on last night in that room?
Hey,
Why?
it wasn't even like
Right.
that, though. You
It
know
might
that.
not
Don't
be.
even try to flip
Let's
it
keep
around
it
like
high.
that. Don't.
Keep it
And
high.
then the next morning, on top of that, I wake
He's
up and
just
Mr.
trying.
Jones, his brother, comes out the bedroom.
So that means I slept with him?
Hey.
Right.
Did you sleep with him?
No, I
Yeah,
didn't.
did you sleep with him?
And are you the
Did
judge
you?
to ask me the question?
I asked you a question.
I didn't
That's my
sleep with
brother.
him.
So-
If you violated that, you violated.
I didn't sleep with Mr.
You
Jones.
violated.
I didn't sleep with Mr. Jones.
You
I have no
violated.
reason
So
to
hold
lie.
on, Mr. Lee, let me get this straight. You wake up, it's your house, it's the morning.
Right.
You
It's
up?
like 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, you know.
And you see his brother.
The first person I see is him coming out of the room that she was in, because she came out 15 minutes later.
So because me and him
I
in a
don't even
room
remember
together,
this.
that means I slept with this man?
So, Mr. Lee, you don't believe you're the father.
No, I don't. I mean, it's a possibility, but I really don't, you know,
That's
honestly.
trifling, man.
Who do you
I don't
believe
I don't even believe
is the father of
I
Sir
just don't
Moses?
believe it.
To tell you the truth, when he came out with the complexion and everything, he looked a lot like Mr. Jones.
That's Mr. Simpson's brother.
Yes. You know what I'm saying? He dark-skinned and she dark-skinned. And you come out with a baby that light, you know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing but a couple of light-skinned cats in the area that we live in. You know, we live in a small
All right.
community.
And it just so
Mr.
happened to be
Simpson, you
my
have
two
a
brothers.
witness. I want to go to
Right.
your witness.
Just so
Please
happens to
stand,
be
ma'am,
my
and
two
state your
brothers.
name for the court.
My name is Kathy Jones.
Ms. Jones.
Yes.
Thank you. And what's your relationship to the defendant, Mr. Simpson?
Jerron is my son,
Okay.
and his brother James is my son.
What do you like to add?
I would like to add the fact that you have gotten both my sons twisted
I
with
don't
your
care nothing about your
foulness.
sons anymore, honey.
What happened? My younger son James
Yes.
insisted that he and Mr. Lee had spent time with her, and if Sir Moses is my grandson, let my child raise his son.
I have not stopped. Look,
So, Ms. Jones, I have to say this. I want to make sure I understand. Your son, who just spoke with us through a video statement, you overheard him specifically say
I
that he and Mr. Lee
both
both.
had sex with Miss Slade
please, I don't know what's going
on
on.
the same
They
day
are lying.
at
Oh,
the
me.
same time.
They are lying.
Ms. Jones, listen, while you condemn Miss Slade, don't your sons have a part to play in this as well?
No, just me. Just me. It's me.
Well,
I've been wanting
well,
to play that for
well,
years. I'm tired.
well,
Let her
all
speak.
of that
I'm
is
tired of
true.
them.
While that is so very true, first off, these males will go where the woman let him, okay? And if he can't go there at her invitation, the only time I'll ever hold a male responsible is when he takes something from her.
This lady got a problem.
Okay, if she says,
She have a
give me,
problem.
bring me another drink,
Sorry.
and then she end up intoxicated to the point that she doesn't know who she's sleeping with. She knew
I know
before
who
she
I
got
sleep with.
intoxicated.
I slept with Eric.
And if she said, come sleep with me,
No, I
she
didn't.
made that choice.
No, I didn't.
But if any
I
one
could've
of
slept with
these
you last
men
night
went
then,
and took
but I didn't.
any parts
Why?
of her
Too
sex,
old.
You might as well
So
have.
your point is, Ms.
You
Jones,
slept with her.
listen, your point is you feel like Miss Slade acted voluntarily.
Yes.
However, you
her
do
business.
understand, however, that
None of her
it was
business.
also your
She's accepted
son's
Sir
choice.
Moses
If you
as her
believe your
grandchild,
other
it's got
son,
to be
that's
all
their
of them.
choice too to sleep with her.
You know that?
they can choose
to believe it.
and you know,
Why would you
just to
believe that?
even hear
Why would you
it,
believe that, Miss
it
Ann?
should not have
Why-
been
You should know me better than
spoken.
that.
What?
You
Okay.
should know me better than that.
Who
So,
want-
Ms.
Whether we
Jones,
get along or
Well,
not,
that
I don't
is-
like you, you don't like me.
It's-
But you know, but you should know
Hold
better
on,
than
let's
that.
get some order.
Excuse me.
Ms.
could I
Jones,
please say
thank you
this?
so much for your testimony. You may have a seat.
Thank
Can
you.
I let her know I really don't like
You
her?
may have a seat.
And you know what you
I
can
really
really do to me? My mama
Slade!
dead. My mama
And
daddy,
you
I
will
don't care about
need
no mama.
one. Miss
But
Slade,
me.
Ma'am, have a seat.
listen.
My mama and my daddy dead. I take care of my kids.
Listen, you're very emotional. You stated that you don't have either one of your parents. For that reason, I understand why you would come in and share the secrets or things that you may be even ashamed of, because you're doing it because you don't want this cycle to repeat itself.
Right. I just want to know for a fact, and I want him to know for a fact, because I don't know.
You
'Cause
don't
I know
know
I
for
slept
sure.
with both of them around
Understood.
the same time. I
It's
just wanna know.
time for the results.
Thank you.
Your Honor,
Jerome. Thank you. The first result relates to Mr. Lee in the case of Slade versus Simpson. When it comes to the paternity of 5-year-old Sir Moses Simpson, Mr. Lee, you are not the father.
All right. I believe that.
So now let's go to the results for the two brothers. In the case of Slade versus Simpson, as it relates to whether or not Mr. Simpson or his brother, Mr. Jones fathered 5-year-old Sir Moses Simpson, the child's father has been determined to be Mr. Simpson.
Please take care of your baby. Please help.
I'm his father. I'm going to be a father.
Good.
I'm going to be a father.
In life, there comes a time when you got to put your parenting before your partying. Learn how to value them and learn how to co-parent together in a mature, respectful way. Court is adjourned.
I think what Judge Lick had to say, I think it was something that we all needed to hear. It was the truth.
It's not healthy for the kids to sit back and to go through this, go through here, go through this, arguing, fighting, fussing. It's not healthy for the kids. So, you know, she's right, because that's what we do. That's why we're basically not together now.